Hello everyone, I'd like to share with you my Semi-Extreme Makeover Discovery Center Edition project, partial requirement for EC 305 in the fall of 2023. My field placement classroom is a Head Start classroom. The children are ages 2 years, 9 months to 5 years. The children in the classroom must be 3 by December 1st. Uh, in this particular class, the children are very young. Some of them did not turn 3 until after September 1st. Uh, they did not have any experience in a group setting before this fall, but they are very eager to learn about new things and are interested in everything. The Discovery Center I found in the classroom was one of the least utilized centers in the room. The children did not find it interesting, and so I chose to make over the Discovery Center for my semi-extreme makeover project. You might ask, why is the Discovery Center important in the early childhood classroom? It's because it builds on young children's natural sense of wonder, curiosity, and interest in their natural environment, helps them understand the world around them and how it works. It helps them learn how to ask and answer questions, teaches them about how to develop their problem-solving skills, helps them develop math skills, language, literacy, and creative arts skills. It allows them to use hands-on investigations, develop positive attitudes towards science and scientific discovery, and it allows them to develop their observation skills and use resources to confirm their observations. This information was found in the Early Childhood Standards of Quality for Pre-Kindergarten. You also might ask, what does the Discovery Center in the early childhood classroom need? According to the observation checklist in for the Discovery Center in our textbook, uh, this center needs to have adequate physical space to work, adequate light, and near a sink, um, organization, space to post information, materials to represent their knowledge, and resource information. It needs to be designed for action instead of just looking, and to be able to be used independently. It needs to stress process skills, provide materials to perform these skills, and provide inquiry tools, and tie into big ideas in science. When I observed the environment in the Discovery Center in my field experience classroom, I found there were numerous environmental indicators that had not been met. And I summarized these on this page because there were more. There was no bulletin board or other surface for posting information and findings, was not enticing and inviting, didn't encourage children to develop what would happen if statements or stress process skills. It didn't tie into larger overriding concepts. There were not directions. Materials were not arranged in a logical order. It didn't encourage them to represent their knowledge. It didn't have resource materials. It did not have enough inquiry tools. This is the Discovery Center in my field experience classroom before the makeover. As you can see, it's kind of boring. It's not inviting at all. The children did not spend very much time here. So this is what I had to work with. What are the developmental skills that are to be observed in the Discovery Center? These skills are making observations, classifying and grouping, making predictions, weighing and measuring, communicating with others, and drawing conclusions. And on the next page, I will show you my results from my observations in my field experience classroom. So this is my data that I collected the week of September 25th through 28th, observing the children in the old Discovery Center. I did find that they did make a lot of observations while they were in the center, but they did not use the other developmental skills that would help children understand the world around them and how it works. My hope with adding materials and enhancing the environment is to increase the understanding of how the world works and help them to develop problem solving and communication skills. So at the beginning of my project, I sent home a letter to the families of the parents of the children in my field experience classroom explaining the center makeover project. My letter included a survey so I could find out what kind of science topics the children were interested in. I received responses from 11 of the 18 families in the class. I have 18 families because we have two sets of siblings in our class. The children expressed interest in the following science topics, and this was actually the entire list. Some of them were interested in all of the topics that I listed. So animals, plants, earth, weather, seasons, outer space, water, weighing and measuring, and colors. But most of the children were interested in learning about animals, the earth, water, plants, and colors. So based on my observations of the children's activities in the Discovery Center, I made the following changes. So I added a magnetic whiteboard as an area to post findings and information. I switched the Discovery Center with toys and games to allow more space and to also move it to over by the sink. We now have more space to engage with each other. Added directions. I added science books, life cycle books, and pictures and posters of underrepresented groups engaged in science. I added background sheets, big ideas, vocabulary cards. I also added new age-appropriate microscopes, as you can see, the balance scale, light up activity center, turn and learn magnetic gears, brought out droppers, tweezers, beakers, containers for sorting, more magnets, materials for exploration with the magnets. As appropriate, I will bring out more materials to address specific content of the topic being studied, and we've also added having a teacher zone in this area to encourage more interactions and inquiry. You can see the girls, one with the microscope, the girls using the droppers, uh, using water with droppers. This is the Discovery Center in my field experience classroom after the makeover. As you can see, everything is organized. There's uh, more items. There's uh, more opportunities for inquiry. Everything is labeled. You can see there's paper, there's markers, balance scale, microscopes. All in all, it's just a more inviting atmosphere. It has more information and more materials for inquiry. So after I did the transformation, I observed the children the week of November 13th through 17th. I observed the children working in the Discovery Center. As you can see, there are a lot more X's from my first chart. I feel that the children met the learning outcomes that I initially identified. The children that I observed working in the center during my final observations did not do as much classifying and sorting as I expected. So that's something that we will look at adding more materials for. An outcome that I didn't expect was how the children are working together, well, especially using the scale and working with droppers, mixing colors and things like that. So after the makeover with the Discovery Center, I again interacted with the families. I sent home a letter to the families explaining changes that I made and added pictures of the children interacting in the new and improved Discovery Center. I also submitted an article to the center newsletter sharing the pictures and the the pictures of the children and changes interacting in the new and improved Discovery Center. So after the makeover, I reassessed the Discovery Center according to the checklist in our textbook. The only indicator that had not been met was that the center is not near a window. This is due to the location of the circle time and rug and large group area in the classroom. and the location of the sink. We could have had the center either near the sink or near the window, but not near both. But the center is not too far away from the window, so we can still use for science activities such as growing plants and whatever. Lead teacher and I felt like it was more beneficial to have the Discovery Center near the sink for easy access for experiments and also for easier cleanup. What did I learn by doing this project? When I started researching what should be in the center, I realized I knew more about science than I thought. I have never been confident in my skills in science and math. I've always felt like I didn't do well enough in those things. So I found it kind of interesting that I knew more than I thought I did. And I think it's important that I share my skills in this area with these children in my classroom. We've got two more little friends using the microscopes. And this page is my references. Thank you to everyone for listening. Hope you enjoyed my presentation.